So let's talk about this Clippers and Lakers game. This Clippers and Lakers game happened yesterday, and what we could see from this game was a lot of things, and I just want to talk about them. First, I want to say shout out to Paul George, shout out to Kawhi Leonard. They combined for 73 points last night's game. They combined for 73 points and 6 assists, which means that they, out of the 125 points that the Clippers scored, right, those two guys were at least responsible for 85 of them. And I just really want, and that's considering that every assist that they gave is a two-pointer. They're responsible for, though, in combined, they're responsible for 85 of the Clippers points, which is crazy, because it means that the rest of the team was responsible for 4 of the Clippers points, and putting that in perspective is crazy. I also want to say shout out to Westbrook. He had a lot of big shots yesterday. And for the Clippers, they lost. That's facts. They lost 130 to 125. The Clippers scored 125 points. And the biggest thing with the Clippers that I saw this game, right, was just the fact that if it wasn't a starter, it wasn't Paul George or it wasn't Kawhi Leonard, then they weren't doing anything, right? I want to say shout out to Bones Highland. He had 5 assists. I know that they're trying to figure out their point guard situation or their guard situation, because when James Harden comes in, it's going to be crazy, Shout out to Russ. He had 24 points, 8 assists, 11 rebounds. He had 3 for 6 from 3, shooting 50%. And he had, a regular Russell Westbrook field goal percentage. He played a good game, and if you actually saw the game, then you know that there was a lot of clips of him, scoring well and making big shots in the fourth quarter when it mattered most. But in my opinion, the biggest star and the biggest story this game were the Los Angeles Lakers. Before anything, I want to say shout out to D'Angelo Russell and shout out to Anthony Davis. Those guys played amazingly. D'Angelo Russell had 27 points, 6 assists, 2 rebounds. He shot well from 3. He shot well from the field. He shot well from the free throw. With Anthony Davis, he had 27 points, 3 assists, 1 steal, 4 blocks, 10 rebounds, 4 offensive, and great efficiency from the field, good efficiency from the free throw. But the real star of this game was LeBron James. And I know that we all know, when he has a good game, it's obviously something that people point out. But LeBron played phenomenally this game, especially during those last minutes. He was playing in this game with excitement, with energy. He was making the most out of his possessions. And I really want to speak on how good of a game he had, because he did everything for the Lakers. He scored important field goals, he made the right passes. He scored well from 3, and in the fourth quarter helped them fuel, the comeback, which led them to be tied. And in my opinion, if it weren't for LeBron this game, they definitely would have not won. Now, I know that's easy to say with the incredible stat line that he had, but let's face it, LeBron scored the most points by any 31-year-old. And, we're just looking at this game as if it were any other LeBron game ever. By any person in their 21st year, I'm sorry. But yeah, LeBron was great. Another person who was great was Austin Reeves. And I was waiting for this. Austin Reeves started the season very rough. And in my opinion, that happened to a lot of the Lakers, probably because of the change in scenery in their lineup. But he started off the season playing really badly, if we're being 1,000% honest. Austin Reeves was a guy who before this game was averaging like below 40% from the field, and I think he had barely made any threes. So when we see this game where he came out, and yes, he didn't make a three-pointer, but if you actually see the game and really look at the highlights even, you could see that Austin Reeves was hitting shots when they mattered most. He had a couple of great shots, even breaking a dude's ankles and then hitting the mid-range jumper on him. And in my opinion, seeing a game where he gets his confidence back, where you drop 15 points, where he dropped 15 points, 7 assists, 7 rebounds, it helps him be able to come back next game better. I also want to say that he had 3 steals and that he honestly, had a great game. I want to say shout out to Cam Reddish. And something I do want to talk about for the Lakers is, like, what are their lineups? Like, the Lakers yesterday had 4 players, 4 players which played above average. And apart from there, which were Christian Wood, Austin Reeves, D'Angelo Russell. Well, not Austin Reeves, and I mean in statistical. Christian Wood, LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and D'Angelo Russell. Statistically, the 4 players who played above average or good. The rest of the team, which were only 4 other players because they were only running an 8-man, didn't really do much for the team. Of course, Austin Reeves, I'm not talking about him, right? But the other 3 players, Cam Reddish, Jackson Hayes, and Max Christie, either didn't get enough minutes or just played like trash. Max Christie had a terrible game, and in my opinion, what is he doing and why is he getting more minutes than Jackson Hayes? Secondly, why is Jackson Hayes getting so little minutes? I don't like what he did either, but he's still in the NBA and he's playing. And him being such a good big man, in my opinion, he should get those power forward minutes. Because even when AD doesn't play, and Anthony Davis played 48 minutes this game, I believe that he could still share the court with him because AD can actually shoot. Another thing I want to talk about is Cam Reddish. I do believe that he's been very good for the Lakers, but he has to chill with shooting so many threes. I understand that it's good for the team when you have a wide open 3, but chill. He doesn't need to do that much, And I understand that they won this game, but what I'm seeing from the Lakers is that they needed a heroic performance from 3 different players to win, from LeBron, Anthony Davis, and D'Angelo Russell. And the fact that they needed all of that just to win, and Gabe Vincent didn't play, and Taurean Prince didn't play, and a lot of their guys didn't play, says a lot about the team. For the Clippers, I want to say that Norman Powell disappointed me this game. I thought that he would be better, but honestly, it was just from the 3-point percentage. Apart from that, he shot like 40% from the field. And I do want to say that as much as I believe in Bones Highland, I do believe that there should be some accountability held to the fact that he did not make a single 3-pointer yesterday, and that the fact that he only scored 4 points with 34 minutes for the Clippers. Those are some things. But apart from that, I do want to say that yesterday's game was amazing. That's the first time the Lakers have won in 11 encounters that they've had with the Los Angeles Clippers. The Lakers have really been up there and really been with the Lakers' number and basically beat them every time. But now the Lakers get their win. It was a tough win. It was an overtime win, and it was crazy. The last thing I want to talk about is when I see this team, what do I think they're going to be with James Harden? Obviously, in this game, they did not play any of the guys that they traded, but also they did not play James Harden. So when we look at the Clippers and what they did this game, and I want to say a really special shout out to Paul George because he played phenomenally, right? I didn't think he was going to be that good this season, but he played great. And what is Paul George and Kawhi, and what is Kawhi Leonard and Paul George? What are they both going to do when James Harden comes? James Harden in his press conference today said that I don't play. I am the system. I don't play by a system. So when we talk about these types of egos and personalities, are these two guys not able to show who they are? Or is it going to be actually James Harden is going to be there to serve a role? Because honestly, let's face it, they need a point guard. They don't need another scorer. But yeah, I'll leave those questions right there, and I'll see you next video. I hope you enjoyed it, and tell me what you thought about this game.